there! Today I'm just getting straight into the video because I have a lot of footage to show and I don't want this video to become super duper long. So today I am drawing myself as a character in the game Persona 5. If you don't know what Persona 5 is, it's an RPG game where you have characters that participate in turn-based fighting. Like each of your team fights and then the thing fights. You know what I mean. It's a game where the whole premise of the game is that you are a kid who lives in Tokyo and you're trying to solve a little mystery. Anyway, I want to start off with this video with saying that this will contain spoilers for the events in the game, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I wouldn't watch the video. You have been warned. Anyway, right now I'm just drawing myself in my normal, school uniform attire. I felt a little rusty when I started drawing the art in this video, so I wanted just to start off with a simple pose. This was kind of like a warm-up for me. It was just a simple standing pose, and it felt like I was kind of just dressing myself up. I wanted to make myself look like I was actually in the game, so for reference, I brought in the character Makoto. I wasn't trying to perfectly replicate the whole style, so I just wanted it to look somewhat convincing that I was a character, so that's why I brought in Makoto, and I felt that out of all the female characters, she looked the most similar to me. Just colors-wise, we have very similar hair colors and stuff like that, and also just looks-wise, I think her face is somewhat similar to mine. I enjoyed this very much. Like I said, it felt like I was just kind of dressing myself up. For my hair, I decided, usually when I'm drawing myself for these videos, I have just the middle part with the hair down, but that's not actually what my hair looks like. This is, I have a more shaggy with bangs haircut, and I thought I would go with that since it looked a lot more like it would fit better in with the Persona style, and I just like drawing my hair like that. For my outfit, I just went with the school uniform. In my mind, my character also goes to the school they go to. I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head, but in my mind, that's what my character does. My character's probably not very popular, kind of a shy girl who's just in the art club, living her life. I wanted to make myself look interesting instead of just putting myself in the normal school uniform. If you look at the main characters of this game, they're not just wearing the school uniform, they're wearing other things. They stand out among the extras, so I tried to make myself look more interesting. Instead of just having a school uniform, I gave myself a green button-up, and I also, for my socks, one of them is rolled down just to show how quirky I am and not like the other girls. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing this. I enjoyed coming up with a design, and I also enjoyed drawing in the style. It was fun, and it's not too different that it's from my style, but it's also different enough that I felt like I was kind of pushing myself. I think the only thing I don't really like about this design is my feet. I think I kind of cheated them in. I didn't really try very hard. And also, I'm not someone who usually wears flats. Maybe for a formal attire, but for school, I don't know. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I think the only thing I don't really like about what I did here is I made my brush super small and added in line variation by going back into parts and thickening lines. And I don't really like how I did that because it made my art look very pixelated. And I don't really care for that look, and I kind of wish I just kept it less pixelated looking. But other than that, everything went really well, and I really enjoyed coloring and stuff like that. I tried to look at different art from the game to kind of replicate the shading style and everything like that, and the hardest part, oh my gosh, I hated doing the pattern on the skirt. I didn't know how to add it in. like I wanted to put just like a picture, but I didn't know how to do it without like making it look funny. So I don't think the skirt looks the best. I blurred out the lines, but it was fine. But yeah, I really like this, and I do think this turned out really good. I think the pose turned out very well, but it was also a very, very simple pose, so it wasn't that hard. Veering off from the art a little bit, I will talk about the game a little bit. I just recently finished it, and it was very long. It's in entirety, it is 150 hours. I saw other things saying that if you really want full completion, you are going to spend like 200 hours in the game. I did not spend 200 hours. I think my final playthrough was 166 hours, which is a ton. I could have been doing other things like, solving world hunger, creating peace everywhere in the world. But no, I was Persona 5. I couldn't have done any of those things. I know how to draw, and that's about it. But yeah, it took a lot of energy out of me to play this game. I have a bad habit of starting games and then never finishing them. I'll start off strong, and I'll play it for a few days in a row, and then I'll never play it again. Sometimes I'll go back to it, and then I complain because I don't remember anything about the game. But I didn't do that. I didn't do that for Persona. I finished it, and I'm proud of myself because some points of the game were really, really hard for me to continue. There were points where the enemies were just hard, and I didn't feel like farming for XP because that's one of the most annoying things you can make me do, is a tedious task. But I did have to do that a few times because, oh my goodness, some of the shadows are so hard. Throughout the whole game, I kept a pretty good good thing with my XP. Usually I was pretty evenly matched with the shadows, which are the enemies in the game. If you don't know, they're called shadows. And I was pretty evenly matched with them, and usually I could beat them very easily. But then I got to the last palace, which, if you don't know, let me explain the terms. Palace is, the whole game was about changing people's hearts, and the main characters were trying to help people who were bad and turn them good by changing their bad desires in their heart. And those people with bad desires in their hearts have palaces, which is how they view the world. And Shido's palace, which was the last palace, if you don't count Mementos, which is it's a long story. Okay. Shido's palace was so hard, and there were so many puzzles. The mouse puzzles were just so tedious and annoying, and the shadows were really hard, and I had to actually farm for XP, which I hated doing. But anyways, you saw me do some sketches for my Persona, because I decided my character would be a Persona user. Why wouldn't I make it a Persona user? So I started off with this design that I really, really liked, which was this kind of knightly Persona-looking character. But I felt in the end that it just looked too similar to Akechi's Persona, or even Morgana's Persona. And it just was kind of basic, even though I really, really like the design. And I actually, I like how the end results, I do like the end results of what I did, but I did really like this one. And I did, see, this is me looking it up because I felt like it felt really similar. Both Morgana and Akechi kind of have these very similar knightly type characters, so I decided to continue on with this kind of ethereal princess looking character. I was trying to do a curled up pose, but I didn't feel like looking for a reference, and it just wasn't looking good, so I'd do a more simpler pose. But yeah, for my Persona, I decided that my Persona was a moon Persona, because I really like Mishima. Mishima is my favorite character out of the whole game, and he has the moon arcana. So I decided that my persona would be Moon. Don't tell me I can't have it. I don't know all the arcanas or whatever, but I decided that's what I wanted. And I also decided that I probably use like blessed skills, or maybe I just am a healing character who has a bunch of healing, because I don't think I'd be very helpful in a fight. I'd be kind of scared. In some like I thought maybe it would be cool if my character kind of looked like a dragon. So I brought in like a dragon side profile and decided to make my persona kind of look like a dragon that's still very, very human-like, because I didn't want to just draw a dragon, but just with a dragon face. I felt like while creating this, I really felt like I really wanted to go all out and make an interesting one, but in the end I just decided to keep it pretty simple. There are so many like different persona designs. Like Makoto's persona is literally a motorcycle for most of the game, and I thought I'm gonna go straight in and make a super duper interesting one, and I end up my fridge is making noises. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, done. I wanted to make it look interesting, but in the end it does end up looking pretty basic, but I'm still very happy with it. I do think it looks very good in the end, and I am very, very happy with it. But I continued to look at Google images and like look at the different personas and stuff like that, just for inspiration and stuff like that, because again I kept feeling like my persona looked very, very basic. But yeah, personas, speaking of personas, all the personas look super cool, and there's some like really weird ones. There's like one that like sits on a toilet. I don't know. There's some really funny looking ones, and I really do like all of them. Throughout the whole game, I did have like I kept one. I can't pronounce the name. It was like Shika Oji. I kept that one because I could literally just put it on the main character, and if the enemies tried to do like a physical attack on me, nothing would happen, because the persona was immune to physical attacks. So I would do that to keep him from dying, because if the main character dies in the game, you have to redo everything, because even though you can heal everyone else in the game, every other character, you can't heal Ren, or the main character. In the game, you can name him whatever you want, but I looked up what his actual name was and just put that in, and his real name was like Ren Amamian. I don't really like having characters call me by my name. It feels kind of weird. So I just wanted to use Ren's name. But yeah, and if you're very confused on what a persona is like what your heart looks like your other self. Like everyone has different personas and stuff like that, which is, I thought dragon was very fitting. A dragon with kind of like a timid, like feminine shape felt very good for me, because I'm very shy and kind of like I'm kind of reserved, but if you really get to know me, I can get kind of crazy and dragon-like and fierce. So I thought this looked good, and I also decided to give her a little orb, I don't know, just for some interest. And I do end up changing the pose to not just standing, and I do end up like showing the feet, which have some heels like that. I also gave a very tight corseted look because I thought that looked cool. And also going into my like fighting outfit, I ended up giving myself also a corset, which I don't think I would wear in real life, but I do think they look cool. But yeah, I went with a purple color scheme also because I really like purple. Okay, enough about art. I know this is an art video, but I don't feel like talking about art. This game I hate it and I love it. It's so long. Like I said, it's 150 hours. So long. It took me so much time and effort to actually finish this game. And this game, oh my goodness, throws me every time I got bored. It just felt the game would be like, wait, you're not feeling it? You're bored? Well, look at this. Wait, you're bored still? Check it out. Twist after twist after twist. Oh my goodness. Like, I would think it was done, and then it would throw another thing at me, and I would be like, what the heck is going on? Oh my gosh. It was like, the main character talks to a character called Igor, and turns out the whole game, he was a bad guy. And then the real Igor was was trapped. And I was not seeing that coming at all. I did think at the beginning of the game that his voice was really weird. In the game, the majority of the game, he has a very deep, like, I am Igor, I'm not a voice actor, type voice. He has a very deep voice. And if you look at him, he doesn't look like he'd talk like that. He'd talk like Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Like, he looks like he should be cursing Perry the Platypus. And then once you figured out that he was good, he got, oh my gosh, a bird just flew by my window. Oh, whatever. He got a more, like, fitting voice. I still think Dr. Doofenshmirtz should voice him, though. I think that'd be very fitting. But yeah, oh my goodness, so many twists. Some of the twists I did accidentally spoil myself on by, like, looking at guides, and, like, I would see something and I'd go, oh no, I was spoiled. But there was enough, like, twists and turns of this game that it didn't really matter. I had so many moments where I'd just go, what? And those are kind of very satisfying moments. Usually when I'm going into games, they're kind of older games, and I usually know what's going to happen in the games. So it was very, like, refreshing to go into a game kind of blind and just go, what? At the twist, and just be completely shook at what was going on. And there was a lot of that for me. And I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that aspect of the game. I started playing Persona 4, which is the game before it. I know, it's crazy that I decided to play Persona 4 after the roller coaster I just was put on Persona 5, but it's crazy how different the games look. Like, obviously, they obviously have the same style, but, like, the graphics, it's crazy, and also, it's a completely different story. I don't know much about Persona 4, so I'm not going to talk much about that, but I just wanted to say it's crazy. And also, wow, I'm happy I played Persona 5 first, though, because I'm going into, like, I know what I'm going to do, because the downside of going in the game completely blind was I had, what's the word? I didn't know what I was doing, so I wasn't able to get 100% completion. My social links, I was not able to get all of them to 10. Some of them were very low. Like, I think the only ones I had were the Twin Wardens at 10, I had the Dr. Takemi, I had the Reporter Oya, and I also had Makoto and Morgana. And I think, obviously Igor and Akechi were all, like, scripted, so you didn't really have to do much to get with them. But, it really did disappoint me that I wasn't able to completely, rank everyone up. Especially Haru. Haru is a character that you meet later in the game, but she's really annoying because they lock her. You can't hang out with her until you have, like, full proficiency, and I did not have that till I wasn't able to hang out with anyone anymore. So it was really annoying that I wasn't able to rank her up any. She was at level 1. I just barely was able to hang out with Futaba, but yeah. And also, I didn't get all my all my, like, skills up fully. That was kind of annoying. And part of me wants to go back and kind of see what all those, like, extra scenes were with all the characters and when I get to level 10 with them. But the other part of me is going, no, you just spent 166 hours on this game. You're not going to spend another 100 hours trying to level up replaying the game to get full completion. You're not that obsessive, which I kind of am. I kind of really want to. It kind of bothers me. And also, I kind of also want to get a different ending because I got the true ending, which I really liked. I think it was very satisfying. But, yeah. Anyway, this is what I chose for my art. Sorry for not talking about it. I decided to end up with... I kept it very purpley, and I also, like I said, I got a corset. And I was really happy that I was able to make the outfit kind of look like leather, which I really liked. And I ended off with a nice little like golden highlight, which I really liked. I think this turned out like amazing, and I'm actually really, really proud of it. And I think it ended up looking really good. Anyway, here are the finished works with the persona. I didn't end up giving her a name. If you come up with a name for her, you can. And here's me and my outfit. I chose the code name Ladin. I was going to just do Dragon because the code names in Persona can get pretty basic. Like, Yusuke was literally just Fox, which was kind of basic. I preferred Futaba's name for him, which was Inari. But I chose the name Ladin because, from what I saw, I can't think of the exact definition of what it was, but it felt very fitting for my code name. And I got the font. I typed in Persona font and put that in for so I could look like it was like a card for the game. I just typed in Persona font, and I think the font was called Exposed. So, yeah, this is the art. I hope you liked it. I'm sorry this thing was so rambly and not really about art and more me just talking about the game and how much I love it and how much I hate it. And if you are mad that I spoiled it for you, what I warned you. Why would you watch it? You should have played the whole 200-hour game instead of watch this video and then come back and watch this video. But anyway, end this off. See ya. Bye. I'm done talking. I'm done. I'll see you when I finish Persona 4 and make myself into a character in that game. See ya.